back-to-back nights of Empires of Aether. Welcome to the next great turn-based strategy game, a game that allows you to wield the power of an element of your choosing to decimate your opponents and destroy them in all kinds of ways. Welcome to a competitive match featuring a newcomer to the competitive scene, I should say, Bao, and also Goofy. Brand new to the competitive scene, but two people making a return appearance in the form of Bobrick, trying to redeem himself from last night, and Armored Jaguar. She just played last week in her very first match and squared off quite well against one of the tournament finalists from last season. So she's a very young and promising player, but what is so interesting about this matchup tonight, it's the same board as the night before, and we're going to see that no two games are alike. We're going to emphasize that tonight. But on top of that, these players actually just played against each other on the same board. So we saw that Lightning was absolutely unstoppable last night. And Elena, Armored Jaguar, took the dub on Poison in a match not even an hour ago. So how are people going to shift their game plans in order to adapt to this? We're going to find out. What's up, Wickerps? What's up, Garrett? Welcome aboard tonight. Thanks for joining us on this lovely Monday evening in competitive Empires of Aether. We'll be right back. As I get some music on. How about that? Some music. Recognize the symbol located on the right-hand side of the screen. It is known as the Cap WOW, a symbol that is known throughout. Lunchboxes, t-shirts, snapback hats, but most importantly, Captain Manhood's chat. And as the brand grows, so must we. And we've hit a bit of a snag, and we need your support in order to unlock and access the next great symbol of this fine movement, the Cap Champ. We need your financial support. 15 subscribers is all we need. So please, go to twitch.tv/CaptainManhood. Follow the channel. Consider subscribing. The least you can do is tell your mom about us. We love it when the moms watch us. Please tune into this message from one of our viewers. Do you feel... Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and here we go. We're getting into the action right now. Let's take a look at our board. Wow! Wow! Appreciate that. Love Blue Shadow. Welcome aboard the SS Manhood. My guy, welcome aboard the SS Manhood. That alert was incredibly loud for whatever reason. Incredibly loud. So we've got Goofy, Bao, Armored Jaguar, and Bobrick in a competitive match here. And we see Poison is the first to get banned right out of the gate, just after Armored Jaguar takes a very confident dub. But Sand was also incredibly powerful in that matchup, so I'm anticipating a Sand ban here. And I think we're fools if we don't... ban Lightning. You gotta ban Lightning on the cusp of what we just saw last night. Oh, Lightning is actually banned first. Sorry, Lightning and Sand are banned. Poison's still on the table. It's the only element that Elena has played thus far, so we will see what she adapts to and what she's going to play instead. Fire is getting banned away as well. Blue Shadow, word is law in this game. I'm moderating. Absolutely agreed. Absolutely. And we're seeing an air ban. And this is what I think we anticipated. We've got Oxipity the Harpy, which was the name of the game in both of the games played on this board. It's an incredibly powerful boss tile that allows you to progress to the late game, even in the early game. And so these aggressive aggro nations that have dice roll additives that they can manipulate in the early game, they just get dibs on it. And so Poison is left on the table. Is perhaps the high roller saving Poison for their first pick in this bottom quarter? We'll have to see. We'll have to see. I'm not sure who rolled the highest, who's banning in what order, but we're going to find out. Bao himself has only played a couple of different elements thus far. He's played air, lightning, and water just an hour ago, so he's not too much experience here. Bobrick He's got a couple wins under his belt, just not in the competitive setting. And he's got a real tough matchup here tonight, facing against Goofy and Armored Jaguar, who have shown that they've got the stuff. Goofy has put in a lot of time in this game in the last month. Goofy is a student of the elements. The man knows what he's doing. He absolutely does. So we've got our 4 bans on the table. It's lightning, fire, air, and sand. Poison still up for grabs. Absolutely dominated the game. But Earth appears to be the first pick. Very interesting here. Earth, the first pick for Goofy, up in the northwest corner. This is not what I would have anticipated whatsoever. And yet, in the casual setting, Earth has won the last 3 times they've been played. I think Goofy is seeing that Earth starting at that 20 and 20 position, and a very juicy one to jump on top of. And it looks like Bao is going to be jumping on water up in the northeast corner, which I think is going to leave poison there for Elena in the southeast corner. Is she just going to get to do a rinse and repeat of what she did last game? That's insane that they would allow this to happen. Bobrick is once again starting in the 10-10 position, it would appear. Very rough for him. Very rough. But Bao looking to redeem himself on water, but he's got a tough matchup with Earth going right up against him. But Earth's got some really good options. I love these sort of mid-game nations sandwiched between Ladon and Terrace because it allows them to pop to their late game 1 or 2 turns earlier than they normally would be able to. But let's see what this third pick is here. Not even sure who's going for it. It looks like it's going to be Elena's pick, and I would imagine she's going to go with Poison. It is her wheelhouse. Is that what she's going to go with? What's the play here? It looks like she might be actually hovering. She's hovering Magma, now hovering Poison. The anticipation. The anticipation. Maybe they're taunting her into saying that she doesn't want to just play Poison all the time. No, no, no. Wait, or is water not actually being played here? So many decisions, ladies and gentlemen. So many decisions. But let me just say that we are caffeinated and ready to go for this lovely match here tonight. Very excited to see it. Armored Jaguar with the second pick selects Magma up in the northeast corner. So it's going to be Armored Jaguar starting at the 16-16 position in the same corner that Bobrick took it last night. But let's see. Let's see if she has a little bit of a better shot at it than Bobrick did just last night. Just want to say that you telling me Powerhouse of the Cell is a mitochondria 40 years ago just helped me on a bio test in college. Thank you. Hey, live to serve, baby. Live to serve. Love ya. Live to serve. Hope you spank that test, man. Wow. So what are these picks? What is taking so long on these picks? Bao? Springing for a little cheeky nature pick here, maybe. Perhaps, perhaps. We've got nature being hovered in the southeast corner. I like this pick all right. The early game is fantastic. Turn 1 is absolutely decided for you because you're going to take this Rainforest passive and get 2 Rainforest for half price. I like that a lot. But where do you go from there? There's not many natural forests here, so I don't really see what the potential this element has beyond that. They don't have great boss killing pressure. Not against these higher health bosses such as the Kraken or Oxipity. So I don't really like that pick there. And then Glacier. Great last pick. Going up against Magma, who's in the opposite corner, so it doesn't really have to worry about that. But it looks like we've got our matchup. This is going to be Glacier, Nature, Magma, Earth, in that order. So let's take a gander at what their abilities are going to be. Earth is already set. He's done this before. Let's take a look at Goofy's opening turns. He's got 2 mountains right next to his capital. Really great for his defensive capability. And what he's going for is the money play Spare Rooms. And if he can afford it, he's going to wait to combine that with Tectonic Plates to just put a massive force on his enemy territory. Just an absolute nailing of a combination of abilities to where there's not many that could fare against it. Not too many. But we will see what these other abilities are being opted for here. I gotta say, I'm surprised that with Poison available, Elena goes outside of her comfort zone and goes to Magma up in the northeast corner. That's probably the most shocking pick here. But Bobrik's on a new element, the exact opposite of the element he was last night, and Bao, in his first competitive game, playing an element brand new. No practice on this whatsoever, but he's got a great turn 1 opener, acquiring 2 rainforests. That's going to be very, very solid for him. But I don't like the other stuff. He can convert these cheaper tiles into forests for him, sure, but if he does that to the swamp, then he can't convert this field to a forest, which would allow him to Tarzan swing and press that aggression on someone like Bobrik in the early game, which is what nature typically wants to do. But being aggressive on Glacier is always a dicey game, simply because they can just blizzard you off and wall you off. But that's where that Tarzan swing can be so powerful in this matchup, because you can actually jump over the tile. That's what we're looking at here. So they're laying out their abilities. Earth has already got his system, so can you tell who's got the most experience here? Can you tell? And actually, in our 3 competitive games thus far, the turn 1 player has yet to win. So Bobrik is looking to redeem himself for last night, going in the 10-10 position once again, but also trying to be the first player to win a game in the Season 1 of Empires of Aether. I think Goofy's got a great plan, a great setup laid out for him. These 2 mountains, great to go for. He's going to try to pressure these boss tiles as quickly as he can. Glacier is going to give him a run for his money, though, but there's a really good chance that Bobrik is going to pressure this Harpy tile as opposed to Ladon, which is why Goofy might actually have a shot at getting this. I think Magma is not playing the boss game. I don't think they're playing the boss game. I think they're just going to play the economic go late game and try to get that 10 armies, because I'm not seeing the potential to accomplish their quest unless you play a heavy economic game. So we'll see what she opts for here. I'm excited to see how someone who's never played an element like this before, the strategy that she opts for. We'll find out. Caffeinated and ready to go, baby. First sip going in the gullet. Absolutely. Let me know if the sound is getting thrown off for us here. Should be pretty good. Should be pretty good. Just can't give my new mic a run for its money. We'll let them select their abilities, and we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be right back. And here we are, jumping back into the action. Once again, the emphasis of today is the fact that we're playing on the same board, and yet we have next to no repeats in the game. Some repeated bans, some learned lessons from the fact that Lightning absolutely dominated the game last night. Poison left up for grabs despite snagging a win on the same board earlier, and yet wasn't taken. Wasn't taken. It's Magma is the only repeat, but a vastly different player in Elena, an Armored Jaguar. So, let's see if there's going to be a difference in experience here, because last night, Magma just kind of got double spiked by his opponents on the board, and really had no way of getting into the game at the 10-10 position. But Magma being played at 16-16 is a very different story. Bobrik instead is going to try to redeem himself on the Glacier Nation, and it looks like he's got most of his abilities selected. It looks like he's going for some pretty standard tier 1s. He's got his standard Winterize, convert 1 tile into a Blizzard, and he's got his Blubber Rations, which is why Blizzard is semi-aggro. You start out with your soldiers being at a discounted rate to everyone else in the game, so you can pump out a lot of soldiers. But you have no dice roll additives when you're attacking. That's the downside to it. So then we go into tier 2, where it's pretty much standard the rest of the way. Blizzard going for his quest. Glacier going for their 6 Blizzard tiles own quest. I do like this, because the counter to it is Magma, and that's all the way across. Nature in the late game can mess with it, courtesy of their overgrown ability, but Bao is really a brand spanking new player, is yet to acquire a win, even in the casual setting, while Bobrik has a couple of wins under his belt. So we've got our turn 1 draw. Bobrik goes ahead and gets a 5 building material supplement. Starting out in the 10-10, you're actually starting out at 10-15, and you get the initiative on turns. Not too shabby. Not too shabby there, Bobrik. On top of that, the first 2 tiles he purchases on turn 1 are going to be half price, which is why Glacier is kind of the king of what you're going to pick if you're ever in the first turn position, the 10-10 position. So he's going to be able to pick up these 2 fields or a field and a mountain for half price. Better yet, what he probably wants to go for is mountain or field and then go to the rainforest. But the downside to that is it does look like you have a little bit of an aggressive positioning on your earthen neighbor over here. And I don't think that's the guy you want to upset. If I had to get an early pick, I am going to pick Goofy for this because I think they have a clear pathway to victory here. I also am sort of casting a little bit of shadow on Bobrick and Bao with their first time being on these elements. Now, Bobrick is definitely going to get a good feel for Glacier. He's played against it a couple of times, so he knows what they like to do. But Bao on Nature, this is going to be totally different than any element that he's played thus far. So it's going to be a wildly different experience. Not to mention the fact that it's not the best corner for them. They thrive on that opportunistic aggression in the first few turns, where they can utilize their Tarzan swing to land on an enemy forest and jump the gun on their territory that they just acquired. But the problem here is, he doesn't even have his Tarzan swing because there's no actual forest in his corner. He is going to be struggling here, I think. But I do respect the decision because he saw these 2 rainforests right next to his corner, and he can pick them up for half price. So that's going to be a great turn 1 opener. His economy is going to be just steaming ahead. Absolutely steaming ahead. So let's see what Bobrick goes for here. He's going for the first mountain purchase, which is only going to cost him 1 food and 2 building materials, which only puts him to 9 and 13 after he got that announce card in the beginning. But who else got the BM? I imagine he would probably... He gave it to Earth. Very interesting that he chose Earth to be the second element to receive this 5 BM, as he was forced to pick one other nation to get it. So he doesn't actually see the fact that he could go for a cheapened rainforest. Maybe wants to guarantee that he gets resource buildings on these opening tiles. So he's going to get a half-price field instead. I do think the weakness of Bao's corner over here is going to make him incredibly vulnerable to early game aggression, which is not typically the case for Nature whatsoever. So I think Bao might be in for a lesson learned in this game. So he does go for half-price mountain, half-price field. He's got discounted soldiers. He's going to go ahead and split apart to that other field so he can buy it next turn. I like that. I like it. Actually, looks like he can buy all 3. Yeah, he's doing it. The man's doing it. Or is he? Actually, he can't buy all 3. But he's going to go ahead and put a resource building on both the mountain and the field. And starting in the 10-10 position, which actually turned out to be 10-15 for Bobrick, like, can't beat it. Oh, and actually, Magma was the 3rd pick. That makes more sense why Elena didn't opt for the poison pick in this corner. It wasn't actually up for grabs. Bao had it in the 16-16 position over here. Shocking that he didn't go for poison, though. Got it. Bouchard, I appreciate you doing the math for me. I gotta say, I've loved listening to Elena's perspective on the game. She's studying a whole bunch. So I'm wondering if Magma has been a part of her studies, preparing. Now, let's see if she sort of has a repeat to what Bobrick did last night in his opening turns, or if she does things vastly differently, which once again will certainly be an example. Oh, never mind. She was the 2nd pick. Okay, so they fixed it. They fixed it. Okay, so he's going to buy this Rainforest, which does allow him to draw an extra advantage card. So he's actually going to get 2 additional advantage cards on his turn here, which that's kind of what you're going for. You're going for some really high roll cards here. Let's get into the Game Master position so that we can see these cards. And let's see what he's got. Great for his economy in the beginning. I do like this having in the early game. Not a win condition centric card, but still going to accelerate what he's going to do in the early game. Then we've got the 110%, so maybe he does have some combat potential, but still no real boss taking potential. Because he's got his Ents are going to war, but the Ents must spawn on forest tiles. and the only forests he's going to have in reach of him for the first few turns are forests that he generates, which means they're not going to be in the best positions for him, because he's going to be forced to convert these swamps into forests, which that doesn't really give him that much objective ground on the game. So, once again, I think Bao's going to struggle, and I think he's going to figure it out pretty early on. I think he's a great target for Glacier to pressure with some early game aggression. And then, the guy who wants all this early game aggression to happen is, of course, going to be Goofy, the Earth General, up in the top left, the northwest corner. He needs him to fight. He just needs someone to not win so hard, because Earth really only needs a few turns to get going, to hit tier 3, hit that spare rooms, get 10 armies, and maybe kill these 2 boss tiles. So, Goofy got a free 5 BM for this first turn. He's going to want to spend it because Bao is utilizing that intercepting cargo on Earth at the end of this turn. He's going to get 5 building materials from him. So, really good start here. Bao's going to get a 3rd advantage card. Once again, drawing from the weather deck. What a fool. What a darned fool. Gets the spontaneous construction. That's a solid one. Really good that he got that as his 3rd card and not his 1st or 2nd. Because now he will get to place a resource building for free on both of these. Just go ahead and clarifying that. So he can get one on both of his rainforests, which is absolutely massive. So Bao's getting a lot of economic help in the early game. Which that is, you need the advantage cards to hit. Especially when you're in a weakened corner like this. Because he's not going to get a free advantage card until he gets over here or here. Maybe he wants to heavily prioritize staples or something like that. Or maybe he just plays the eco game. Can I do this? What is he pinging? Oh, he's talking about the building. That's what I said. Yes, he can. Okay, so anyways, let's examine Magma's strategy here. She is opting for the Volcano quest, so she's going to want to play a heavy economic game. Because Pompeii... Oh, wait a minute. She's taking your quest, but she actually... Okay. She didn't take Pompeii. I actually love this. This is super interesting. I think Elena has put a whole new twist on this new look to Magma, because I wasn't sure if quest was the way to go for Magma anymore. After the nerfs to Pompeii, more like Pompeii, she is now going volcano from nothing and big volcanoes. So what she's going to have to do is utilize both of these abilities, but make sure she's got someone at the temple in order to recycle this big volcanoes card so she can acquire her quest. I love that plan of action. Great planning from Elena. So Bao to finish his turn, spawns a forest on his newly purchased swamp tile. Great, hugely efficient turn 1 for them. Great start for Bao, and his economy is going to be soaring, and he's got a free 5 BM coming his way this turn, courtesy of his advantage card that he spent on Earth. Great card to get for Magma. Great marketplace card. They want to be fairly balanced because they just want to get to tier 3 as quickly as they can. Her tier 2 is mostly going to be about countering her Glacier neighbor, even though he's across the board. Other than that, it's just kind of weakening her opponents and strengthening her position on the board. So I think we should see a fairly standard open. Probably just going to convert this desert to a volcano is what I would imagine she does here. Buys the lake with her general. Probably going to slap a barracks on the capital tile and convert one of these deserts into a volcano. Something that we didn't see Bobrick do last night. Bobrick let this desert sit here for a couple turns. Because I guess he's seeing that deserts give Magma an extra food per turn. But that's... You're getting a free soldier every turn if it's a volcano. Like, that's just juicy. So that is what we're seeing. We're seeing a barracks and 2 2 soldiers purchased so that she can purchase both of these deserts. She's got to convert one of these into a volcano, right? Gotta. We won't ping anything. We won't influence anything. We just want to see if she rectifies the mistake that was Bobrick's last night. Her hand is hovering over it. I think she's looking for the card. Ooh, yes. I like this so much more. Oh, she's got the setup. She's going to convert one of these deserts into a volcano so she can then turn the lake into a hot spring and go ahead and put 2 resource buildings on it. So she's going to have excellent building materials from the volcano and then excellent food production from the hot spring. So she's got to use this card in order to pop the hot spring. She's got to do it. Yep, she's volcanoing. Gonna confirm that hot spring there. Let's go ahead and get a second resource building on that just to make sure that our first turn is as economic as possible. But a great open for Magma nevertheless. Setting up for that tier 2 on that turn 3 timeline. And maybe if she sets up enough with a nice juicy optimally priced rainforest, mountain, and field. Oh yeah. So she did miss out on putting a resource building and overflowing in turn 1. But a great start nonetheless, but I definitely would have done that. Because then that tile alone would have been producing 6 food per turn. She could have at least put a resource building on the volcano. Either one of those would have been solid. So Goofy's probably had his turn playing out for several minutes now. He's going to buy... Ooh, he's getting an aggressive barracks on this field. He's going to buy both of these mountains. Juicy, juicy. Had that extra 5 building materials, so he's going to have plenty to do this. And I think he's going to have enough for a resource building as well. That is solid, solid, solid. Nice stuff. Buying 3 soldiers well. He's already towards the middle of the board. And I think this is... When we first made the resource changes to people starting at different turn positions, getting different resources, people were still trying to play the turn 4 position like they would if they were turn 1. But I think the biggest advantage is you getting to hit the middle of the board before they ever get a chance to. And I think, I'm hoping, Earth is going to prioritize this seer. I think that's probably what he's going to try to do. Because that would just be absolutely massive. He could even play Tectonics it into him. I actually have a feeling that's what we're going to see next turn. I would love to see Earth play Tectonics the seer into him so he has control of it for the rest of the game. Because that's essentially a free Hermes shoes on overdrive. So let's check out what this first weather event is. Full moon, we're going to skip this weather. Skipping it, skipping it, skipping it. My gosh. The synergy is not there between these two hands. Oh my gosh, 4 skips in a row. And finally, home field advantage is drawn, meaning that defenses are going to be slightly elevated for the next 2 turns. That's this turn and the next. And we're going into turn 2. Let's keep an accurate turn count tonight, shall we? Bao has gone ahead and spawned several forests. He's expecting a lot of trees to come out of swamps, I'd imagine. But let's see if we actually get there. Let's see if we get there. Ooh, man, I'm thinking more and more about this play Tectonic Seer play. I think Goofy is probably thinking that. It's a strong, strong play. But it's Bobrick with the initiative here. Lake Mercenaries, upon purchasing a lake tile, can spawn 3 free soldiers. And would you look at that? He's got a lake right there for him. He's going to get 3 free soldiers on the board. Which I think will probably be used to leverage the aggression against nature. Gotta be what we see, right? Very good card. Terrible card if you draw it like turn 4 or later, but a great card turn 2. Excellent card. Especially when you've got a lake there right next to you. And so what these soldiers are also able to do is they can spread out. That's what's so crazy. Get so much aggression on the board. He can buy this forest. Can't buy the star tile, but he can buy this forest. And after the forest, he can put in the resource building now, probably on the lake. But he wants to be able to hit tier 2 next turn. Getting a request to change a tier 3 card. I wonder if she's moving away from her quest. I actually love if she takes the quest, but I think she might be moving away.
Look at
The biggest screen! Appreciate that follow, man. Welcome aboard the SS Manhood. You're joining into Empires of Aether, the next great turn-based strategy board game, baby. No. Big volcanoes, it can be used with the quest. Yes, it can. It can't be used with the tier 1 passive. Oh, you're right. Never mind. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Your boy Big Yeetier. What's up, man? Great to finally have you in here on the spectator side. Would love to get a co-caster here. Sometime. Hold on, I gotta link these abilities to them really fast. Small delay, ladies and gentlemen. Then we'll take a look at what Bobrick and Bao are doing with their turns. Small mix-up with Magma's abilities here. Alright, I'm gonna link it to her right now. Boom! So, if not, she was going to be down her quest, meaning she couldn't pursue it. I actually kind of like the idea of putting this applicable again. But maybe it's actually too powerful. Maybe I was so big-brained when I did that. Widespread Eruption is what you want. Coming right up. Let's spawn her this card in, baby. Oh, I actually had Magma already popped up. Very nice. Convenient. Quick little customization on the fly, ladies and gentlemen. Would you look at that? So instead of the quest, she is opting for Widespread Eruption, which of course is the legal selection. I love the idea, the concept at the beginning, and now realizing it's impossible. Haha! So, we already saw Bobrick's play. Should have spread out his units. He actually ended his turn. So this is an incredibly inefficient movement by Bobrick. These soldiers should have been moving. Right? And I think he's holding at his resource total so he can go tier 2 next turn. That's totally fine. But you could have still put a resource building down. You could have still advanced on the board. Because what could he have done next turn? He could have purchased the forest, turned it into a blizzard, and then potentially pressure anything that comes out here with polar bears, or eventually the harpy. So, I think right here is just kind of telegraphed that he wants to make that his polar bears. I think that's super telegraphed. Once again, we're seeing the nature struggle bus corner. Let's see what his advantage card is. 110%, which makes me think he got some kind of announce card. He did. Forced two nations to give one advantage card to the other, so we'll see who swapped with what in just a moment. Nature advancing to the middle of the board, though. Great movement here. But once again, no Tarzan potential in this corner with no forest possibly to come up here. Magma and Earth swapped advantage cards. Great. I like the defenses here. When a player realizes how broken defensive fortifications are, the game drastically changes. When you have an aggro nation popping defensive fortifications, you know they are powerful. So it looks like Bao is just playing the eco game. And so really, what is Glacier going to do against this? Because if he moved his soldiers here to full commit, he could easily pressure it the following turn. Magma getting a free soldier, courtesy of their Volcano passive. So actually, they swapped the same ability, roughly. It's just that Magma lost a greater version of that card, so that's kind of hilarious. And I really think both of them have the same idea for how they're going to treat this early game. They're just trying to turtle up till tier 3. Good lord. Tier 3. What we also didn't mention in the early game was that Glacier, obviously going for their Blizzard quest, Earth's even got the potential to stifle that as well with their terraforming in the late game. So Earth has so many different plays and so many different outs. What I'm really hoping we see, and I'm really, really hoping it happens, I'm hoping we get a general here, and I'm hoping we play Tectonics the Seer into us and move a soldier into the Seer so we've got control of it for the rest of the game. That's what I'm hoping for. He's at 7 and 14. Let's make it happen. He could even buy the rainforest and double fortify it with those resources. Why not, baby? Why not? Obviously, he would rather summon Citadel it before he sends it there. But I don't want Bobrick to get the Seer and kind of steal it from me. That would be rough. Absolutely rough. So, what I'm really hoping we see is Elena going ahead and putting 2 resource buildings, actually 3 total, 1 on the volcano and 2 on the hot spring, courtesy of her overflow ability. I'm really hoping that she sees that she should do that in order to enhance her economy. She'll be at double digits in both categories, which means she's guaranteed to be able to go tier 2 next turn. So I'm really hoping that's her play. New player, we'll see if we see it. We'll see if we see it. She's pinging the overflow, but where's it going to go now? So, David, that means you've got the biggest in front of all of your names. Is that accurate? You've got the biggest green. You've got the biggest yeet. So she is popping overflow on that hot spring. That is a free resource building for her. And that is going to be a total of 9 food from this tile per turn. That is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. He says yes, yes, yes. And then I'm hoping that she uses the last of her BM to put a resource building on that volcano. Biggest Yee was taken on Twitch. No kidding. Really. So actually she's going for purchases on field and mountain. I guess she was already factoring in those resource counts prior to this. It's actually crazy. That's a lot of purchases. Turn 2. She was in the 16-16 position. Let's see what her second advantage card is. She's got the well-fed mercenaries. And with her economy, this is going to be a very useful card for her, I would imagine. Now, with that being said, she's going to want to avoid combat as much as possible. And we go to Earth. His second advantage card is self-trading. He's got 2 cards that basically do the same thing. One's just better than the other, so he's upset at that. So let's see if Earth decides to secure that Seer for him for the rest of this game. Let's see what we got here, Earth. Doing some math here. Gonna go ahead and pop Marketplace. What's he gonna do? Is he factoring in how much food he's gonna spend this turn to make sure he can go tier 2 next turn? I would imagine that's what he's doing. He's trading 4 for 4. Buying the lake. Could still see the plate tectonics play. Not sure, though. Buying that lake. Buying 2 lakes, so going for a very economic turn. Maybe not seeing that, or maybe seeing that Bobrick didn't actually efficiently move his soldiers in any way, so the Seer is not under pressure in this next turn. He can maybe do it the following turn. But this is interesting right here. We've got Earth and Magma kind of squaring off at a border here. Magma's going to get the initiative here, though, because Earth can't actually afford this. Earth did retreat their general back. I don't like this play. You moved your general to the mountain, a tile that you already owned. That's inefficient movement, something you really don't want to do. But the reason why Earth is probably one of the best candidates for this, though, is next turn, if Magma doesn't attack here, which I gotta say, Elena, first time on a Turtle Nation, probably not going to, the general will move in here, play Tectonics, and he's gonna be 1 tile away from their capital. But I don't think Earth really wants to do that. I really don't think they do. But he bought 2 lakes, put resources on both, so that's a huge change to his food economy for the turn 3 and beyond. Can you add another seat to the board so I can interact with the board? Yes, I can do that. See if I can do that now. Can I do that now? Zone. How do I do this? I think it's zone. I guess I'll put it out here. Huh? Maybe? This is on the fly? We're learning it on the fly? Maybe not? What, Bubba? How did we do this before? I'm trying. I'll figure it out. So, once again, this is just, it's so inefficient. Like, Bobrick did this so that he could pop tier 2. I get that. But, like, the Blizzard is here on the other side of what is already acting as a pseudo Blizzard from your opponent, when it could have been here or here, acting as a really stout border to your opponent. So, super inefficient. But he's obviously going for Occipity, right? Obviously going for Occipity. And he could potentially get tier 3 here. But I don't like the setup at all. Configuration? Huh? I will find it, I will find it. Options. Hands. We're already doing that. Info. No, that doesn't add another seat. So he's going for the attack here. This is not a guarantee whatsoever. Oh, I don't like this at all, man. Like, this is if he loses this battle, he loses the game. He's out. So he pops Polar Bears. Doesn't even combine all of his troops with snowshoes. Or like, it's just so telegraphed, man. Tied to the actual table. I know I can add other seats. I know I can. Yeah, it's not that. Oh my gosh, I don't like this play at all. Didn't even get a combat card that helps him here. So he's rolling for this big time. Is he saying I don't want to do this now? Gotta say, I love the white color on him. They look like true polar bears here. True polar bears. It has to be zone. Layout? It's not layout. Because, like, it's when I did that is when I made the plays. So he decided not to attack. Like, oh my gosh. If there's so many different elements that if they weren't banned could punish this so hard. But, like, you just made your play so abundantly clear, and you couldn't even execute it. There's so many advantage cards that just ruin you here. And, like, that's brutal. If he had 2 more BM, he would have been able to pop seal hunting, get a juicy amount of food, and then get another army. And then attack it confidently. It's still not a guarantee, though. He needs 4 armies to make it a guarantee. Nature just creeping up the board. Real sneaky deaky like. Getting some good combat cards. I think that's what he's seeing. He wants this star tile. He wants that bonus advantage card, courtesy of his nature passive. But this home field advantage is a big deal. Oh, interesting here. Nature's going aggro. They're going for that star tile right away. They're going to force Magma to make a move. Okay. This is a juicy play. Because of his jungles are forced too, they purchase for a half price. That's a 3/3 star tile and a bonus advantage card. And he's 2 tiles away from the Magma capital. So Nature, despite not even have their most powerful abilities, is still going full aggro against Magma here. Ooh, gets an announce card though, forces a new weather event, which he was really counting on. He was really counting on it because he wants to be able to hold this. So that's kind of unfortunate for him. Would it be 2/2? It is. Rainforest as star tiles are still just 3/3. Or sorry, 6-6. They have their normal price. The nation that takes their turn second selects a field that becomes a desert, which of course is conveniently nature. That's Bao. And Bao's going to actually sabotage Earth here, which is kind of interesting because if you're going to aggro against Magma, you certainly will convert this field into a desert. Certainly do that. So I'm not sure why that wouldn't be the first instinct, but I would imagine it's got to be. Where the heck is this, man? I've got to be able to add more people. I know it's here. Point. Oh, David, I've been learning how to code and script a little bit. Game is going to be very user-friendly very soon. Already got a few scripts growing into place right now. And I think by the end of this week, I'll be able to auto-generate a board. Which is going to be super cool. Every time you load it, something totally new. Really like that. Right now, upon entering the server, it automatically shuffles all the decks present. And it sends a welcome message out to anyone that's joining. So anyone from outside our community is getting a little welcome message to join Discord and all that jazz. But yeah, that's the hope this week. So, nature. I like this positioning. This is really, really good. Good stuff from Bao. I love that play. Great play. Because I don't think Magma is going to be able to punish it. Now, we will find out very soon because Magma is going right now. Magma's netting a just massive amount of resources. Still failing to get that resource building on the volcano, which she is going to regret not being able to do that. Let's go and get this blood tile out of the way. It's not objects. It's option. I know it's option. Bum, 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 bum. Oops. Hands. Kind of hype music, kind of digging it. Not gonna lie. So let's see what Magma does. I think this is I mean, it's obviously a pivotal turn for her. She's at the risk of losing her precious hot spring tile. Now, the good thing is this isn't a forest. It's a rainforest, which means if Bao pops tier 2, he would have to use both his nature conservation and his Ents in order to apply a lot of pressure to her. So I don't think he's doing that. I think he might be trying to gain control over staples. I think that might be the play that he's going for here. But what that does, that gives like a free pass to Bobrick. I'm really hoping Earth draws Friendly Dragon to just absolutely punish Bobrick here. Because this is just textbook what not to do. You don't show all of your cards. You don't show exactly what you're going to do. Now, it's just the fact that this could be a Blizzard right here, or this could be a Blizzard right here. And it'd be the same thing, but a better position. So Magma just looking like they're turtling up, hoping that they don't attack here from the nature side. I think they might have gone tier 2. Don't see any new soldiers purchased, yet the food went down, so I think they went tier 2. What's rough about that, though... Magma tier 2, okay, that's what I thought. Good card here. Good card here. Especially given the circumstances. Great card. So if she ends up losing a tile to nature here, she's going to draw 3 advantage cards. That could put her right back into the game. So I like that card being drawn here. That being said, what's the play now? 2 food, 0? You're just hoping that he doesn't attack. And he can attack this field for free, which is super unfortunate. So it's possible that I just give up this field and move into the hot spring with everything that I have. I think that's what I probably do. I think I move everything and maybe shift this. Ooh, no, I can't leave this. Man, this is rough. I think Elena might find herself on the victim side of a 2v1. Not too good for her. Not too good. This is some bullying. hags, but like... Aha! It's been done. Okay. And it goes to Goofy. Think that worked? Okay, worked. Nice. Okay, and it's Goofy's turn. Only downside is now Brown is added to the turns. I think that's why I made it to where there's only the 4. I think that's why. But that's okay. He can just skip his turn every time. So Earth is going to pop tier 2, as expected. Putting him to 7 and 5. And that's not enough resources to really apply pressure on a Magma. But that being said, if she's being attacked from both sides, can she really commit to one side? This is a rough position for Elena to be in, and I'm struggling to see how she gets out. It's looking like Magma in this corner 2 nights in a row is going to be victimized. Earth is buying that forest. But also, if he doesn't do anything with his general this turn, what was the point of moving it backwards? Is the question. He's got his Citadel capability. So maybe he moves into a Plate Tectonics and summons Citadel. So he's right next to Magma's capital. With just a massive castle. I feel like that's the only play you'd be doing, right? Okay, it is. Wait a minute. Turning it into a mountain. Solid there, adding to his dice roll. But, like, you gotta be doing something else, right? Summon Citadel and Tectonic Plates, it's gotta be the combo. Otherwise, why do you move the general? Kind of this hype club music going on. Matching the energy. Soldier to the rainforest. Goofy doesn't like making plays, it seems. I agree. It's just, it's so redundant to move the general backwards. And the whole point is, like, this game is, it's all about eliminating those redundancies and just making sure you're efficient in eliminating any chance of losing, any chance of, you know, outside influences impacting your strategy. Minimizing the risk, I should say. That's the best combination of words for that. But, like, there's just nothing happening. So he is making this the Citadel, which means the play has got to be coming here, right? I think he's just doing it in the most cringe way possible, where he's going to put all the pieces on the tile and then Tectonic Plates it, meaning it's going to be just so inconvenient. But you're not going to attack with 2 soldiers here, right? What are his cards again? Nothing good. For combat purposes, I mean. What's going on here? What's going on here? So the soldier from the lake shifted over to the mountain. Gotta be flashy for the content. Maybe he does. Maybe, maybe. He's holding, he's holding. He's levying whether or not to do this, but what is Magma gonna do? Because potentially, man, I mean, I don't know. If you had an army, you definitely do it. Because now you're on a race against nature to kill them. If killing them is your best pathway, attacking. 3 soldiers attacking. Oh my. And it's he loses. I just... I don't know about that. I don't know about that, my guy. I don't know about it. That's a yikers. So Bobrink's going to be going to tier 3 here, most likely. We are hitting turn 4. Peace talks. That's very interesting. Very unfortunate for Magma, because typically it would be the Nature General that's out here, but it's not. It's Soldiers. And we just took the Magma General away from their defense here. Yikes! That's really rough for Elena once again. Just another, ooh, that's rough. But it also takes away from Bobrik's attack on Occipity. What does Bobrik want to do here? Like, it's these two that should be Blizzards, man. You gotta learn from this. Well, he's got a forest out here that he can buy some cheap soldiers on. And by cheap soldiers, I mean for the same price that he can already buy soldiers for. So this card, useless for him, really. Useless. But I imagine, sitting at 0 and 1, but he should be at 10 and 9. He isn't a Glacier main, that is for sure. Should be at 10 and 9. He's going to be able to train another army here. And he can snowshoes here with 3 armies and 3 soldiers. But it's still only a 5 out of 6. He has to roll above a 1. But going tier 3 is pretty juicy. Pretty juicy. David, since you're here, Occipity and Centaur absolutely have to have their health raised. What do you think the total has to be? I'm thinking potentially... I think maybe 75 for both. I think I like that. Yeah, and then Earth is now also surrendering the Seer. Like, this is just... it's a rough combo. It's a rough combo. I'm thinking I like 75 as a health total for both these bosses. But I also love what they've done to the game. They've accelerated the game so much, and they've made certain strategies viable when they weren't before. So I've loved what the bosses have done, and I hope that by changing their health, that doesn't take away their viability. It's such a delicate relationship. It's just when you put Harpy on the board, it makes Glacier fantastic. It makes Lightning S tier. And Air was already just amazing. So that's why I don't know. So Glacier does take Occipity here. But it was a 5 out of 6. Like we said, it was a 5 out of 6 with those 3 armies. So he just had to not roll a 1. Glacier is now tier 3. Bobrik is looking to make this his bounce back game. But the thing is Bao has got a great angle here on Magma. But the reason why Glacier might be okay with that is, what is Nature's second win condition going to be? Because Glacier's just going to be marching down Nature here. Nature has to kill Magma, but Magma was going to be the main source of melting the snow. But I think the player who... Elena and Goofy both have their back against a wall. Because, like, where does Goofy go from here? He's at 14 and 23. He's got great BM. He's got Eating Rock, so he can train forces. Oh, man, I didn't even realize how bad Peace Talks was for him. Like, obviously, oh, I see what he was doing last turn. He was going for the kill on Elena this next turn. But the play was already there. If you played Tectonics, you still could have killed her next turn, potentially. I guess not. Because you take this tile, you swap with this desert, and then attack the capital, which she surely can't defend both, right? So I get it. I get it. But man, that's a gutsy dice roll. That's a minimum of 7 with 3 soldiers. You have to hope you're rolling a 4 or higher. So we've got Bao. Bao's got some good initiative here. Let's see what his cards are. All 3 are combat cards. He's going to war, boys. He's going to war. I love it. Bao the Tree Man going to war. But what's his play? He's at 5 and 2. He had to have popped tier 2. He's netting 19 and 16. That is insanity. Like, Bao, you're only out now is you gotta go into Magma because Glacier's coming for you. They're coming at you, man. Nature is tier 2. But this is not a forest. So he can't pop Ents. He also doesn't have enough food for it, according to this. So he has to pop both, which is super unfortunate. But it's worth it at this point. Oh, we bought Staples? Would you look at this? Is he going for the kill this turn? He can do it. He can go for the kill this turn. If he pops Nature Conservation. He doesn't have the food for Ints, though. That's the problem. Oh, I don't know about this. Oh, I don't know about this at all. Yeah, that's a blizzard. That's going to be a blizzard real soon, my boy. That's going to be a blizzard real soon. So, unfortunately, it's to turn a rainforest into a forest. That's kind of rough for nature. But sometimes you do have to do it. All depends on the board, baby. He needs that for the Ints next turn. But because he has stables, he can attack with 2 armies next turn. And then whatever soldiers are left behind can go 2 tiles to kill the capital. Obviously, Magma's got to turn. She has to just turn herself inward. Defend everything on the capital. This tile is going down, I think. Oh man, poor Elena. She's at 2v1 right now. Gonna struggle to find a way out of here. That's for sure. No attention on this Kraken. I'd imagine Glacier's going to try to do 2 things here. They're going to try to pressure nature, right? They would love if their general were here. They would love if the general were here. But Glacier also wants to pressure Ladon, because if he's able to kill nature and kill Ladon, it's an instant win of the game. Probably the play that we're going to see. But actually, I'm wondering if with tier 3... can he actually leverage with snowshoes to kill nature next turn? I think he can. Turns this to a blizzard, turns this to a blizzard, but it doesn't matter because he can throw 2. Throws this one here, throws this one here. 1, 2, 3. Attack with 1 army here. Attack with a 2nd army here. Attack with 3rd army home. Bobrick's gonna win this game. What a bounce back game for Bobrick. Like we said, nature was going to struggle, but nature has to kill Magma this turn in order to win, and it doesn't look like he's doing it. He's shifting his attention to the side tiles, and in most situations, that's what you do. In most situations, that's what you do. So the cool thing here is, Magma's probably going to live. Probably going to live. Gets to pop the sustained damages. Great stuff there. After she loses this tile. But did she actually lose? It is a dice roll. Why is everyone always assuming that battles are guaranteed? Why? 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 The math is simple, ladies and gentlemen. The math is simple. So, we'll see if Bobrick sees this. Because like we said, Bobrick's fairly new. Fairly new to the game. But there is a kill on nature here if he does it. He's tier 3, which means he's got 3 attacks. Ooh, I didn't consider the fact, though, that these are polar bears. So they can only go to this tile before they die. But he's going to have over 10 food, right? Yeah, he has exactly 10 food he's netting this turn. So he puts a barracks here. He's still fine. He can still do it. He just has to train an army to do it. Because the polar bears will attack here. The army that he trained last turn will attack here. The army he trains this turn will snowshoes through and attack capital. I really hope he does it. Because that shows that he is really learning the game. And also, this is his first time playing on Glacier, so I would really like to see that kind of growth. So we've got nature squaring off against an army now because Magma appears to have played their well-fed mercenaries card, spending 10 food, which is going to be a bulk of their turn that they paid before they even got to go, which is super unfortunate. But now with 2 added onto the army's dice roll and a 3rd with the volcano in play, I don't think nature's going to win this. They have to roll a 6 and Magma has to roll a 1. Because Magma at a... No, actually, no, they can't win. They physically cannot win. Strangely enough, nature did not pop tear gas. So yeah, nature loses that battle. Which also gives Magma the potential to strike back here. But she's at 7 and 0 this turn. How is she at 0? It can't be. Can't be. She had to have just not applied her BM yet. Couldn't possibly be at 0 BM. Definitely not. So it now finally goes to Elena's turn. Bao took a sweet time deciding to attack, even though Bao should already be dead. If this is a higher mind game, if Bobrick wants to really establish himself as a student of the elements, an apprentice, he's going to kill Bao here. He's going to drive the icicle dagger into his chest. Let's see a nice, sick Magma advantage card draw here. Getting 2 free soldiers, courtesy of that Volcano passive. She is at 7 and 9, so she didn't apply the BM. That is correct. She has got 9 BM. It's a rough total to be at, though. Rough total to be at. I think you have to attack here. It's either that or you shift the army to the hot spring. You can't afford to lose it. Goes for the dice roll. You can't win this. You can't win this. Not happening. Have to roll a 6 and he has to roll a 1. A 1 in 36 chance of you taking the stables. It's not happening. Or maybe she's attacking to try to suicide the general back home. That's a viable play here. Oh, man. I think when you're in this position, it is GG. Elaine is just trying to stall as much as possible to keep that sportsmanship up, right? Gotta respect anyone that's willing to do that. But, I mean, like, Bao played that about as horribly as possible this last turn. Attacking with 4 soldiers when he probably had the food to make an army and attack with that. Like, why not? So, probably going to train additional soldiers here to attack this. This is sitting at, but it's on a forest, though. 35 defense. I don't think you do it then. I don't know. Got an army, compiled the free soldiers from the volcano onto the field, but probably want to defend everything on the hot spring. I agree. I agree. Curveball here is what the heck is Goofy gonna do? What the heck is Goofy gonna do? I definitely think you turtle up and you hope that Bobrick sees the killing play. Because if Bobrick kills nature, I'm alive. But Bobrick has great kill potential on late on here in the next couple of turns as well. Not to mention the fact that when you've got half the board to yourself, you're always at constant pressure for 50-50. Oh my. We're not in a position to do that. But if we survive this invasion from nature and we get to tier 3, then we can sabotage some Glacier plays with widespread eruption. Absolutely we can. Oh, David, you also got to check out the 2v2 version. We're going to be playing a match here after this game. She's rolling a 4 here. What is she attacking, though? Oh, she's sending her general back. What's up, can't touch this? What up, man? Welcome aboard, bro. Bobrick is having a comeback game. Great comeback game. He actually can kill Bao next turn if he sees it. He's got a Bao kill here. Because he is tier 3. He killed Occipity the Harpy. He is tier 3 already. He needs to pop his tier 2 Blizzard ability, which would convert both of these to Blizzards. And he will form a snow line for his snowshoes to take advantage of. This will be converted to a Blizzard. This will be converted to a Blizzard. And he can just funnel his soldiers through with 3 separate attacks to kill Bao. But now we'll see if Bobrick knows his stuff. So, now we've got the Earth General in contention for the Seer. Oh, but man, like, I thought this was an Earth play turn 2. He's not a class Glacier player like me, though. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if he's got the mind for it. He's getting there, though. He's getting there. Shows a lot of promise. Shows a lot of promise. Earth really doing nothing with their turn, just sitting on resources, 11 and 26. Obviously looking for a big wombo combo here. But what is it going to be? I'm not sure what it's going to be. I'm really not sure. Half of all food supply is lost. That actually takes away Bobrick's kill. It takes away his guaranteed... Actually, wait a minute. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Oh my! Oh my! What's this? Okay, so it does take away his guaranteed kill. This is only 2 soldiers, correct? It takes away his guaranteed kill. Ooh. Now this is an interesting question for debate, though. This is the blizzard that the polar bears originate from. They have to stay within 2 tiles of that, otherwise they die at the end of the turn. If I'm throwing this blizzard here, I'm still going to be 2 tiles away from it, or within 2 tiles if I'm here. So are the polar bears allowed to attack there? I say yes. I vote yes. I vote yes. So Bobrick still has the kill here. At least that's my vote. So Blue Shadow, if he asks for it, I give the green light. I think we should be seeing a nature kill here. And then what Bobrick can do is he can just play with the general to get his quest. And he'll win in 2 turns. I said if he uses Winter Storm on the move, because the problem with why he can't guarantee kill Bao this turn is the fact that his polar bears would have to die after entering this tile. But if he throws this blizzard here, I think that should be allowed to keep them alive because they're still going to be within 2 tiles of it. Can he throw blizzard with polar bears? Yes. So he's going to use his tier 2. Actually, I suppose he doesn't. He wants to move this tile with the polar bears. I think that's how it should work. I think that's how it should work. But now let's see if the brain of Bobrick can comprehend it. Let us see. It doesn't matter what 2 tiles he connects it with, but he has to pop Winterize Episode 2 first. And it doesn't matter if he does this and this, or this and this. Obviously, you should, going against nature, take away the forest when you can, because what if he survives this? If there's a chance, you don't know what advantage cards he has. Take away the tiles that are good for him. The coastal tile, though, and the fact that I just drew Setting Sail, might be some arguments there. Okay, okay. He's popping. Polar Bears is already popped, right? Saw that card flipped. I don't think he's doing it. Because there's nothing else you can spend resources on. What's he doing here? Green is pinging, which is nature. Oh, man. How bad would it feel to, like, go back and look at your footage of, like, what you were doing? Because I've actually already ragged on Bobrick because he did a horrible turn 2 or turn 3. Turn 3 is what it was. Horrible turn 3. Like, showed all his cards. Oh, wait a minute here. What? Imagine he doesn't win. If he doesn't win this game, and you go back and you look at this gameplay footage, how bad does it feel to know that the win was there, and you didn't see it? How bad would it feel? I don't know. I would never experience such a thing. I would never experience such a thing. So the way Bobrick is playing this, these polar bears are dying after this attack. Or at the end of the turn, I should say. They do get to defend there for this turn. They die at the very end of the turn. And then I would imagine the other army is going to attack here. Just go ahead and start carving up Bao. Carve him up, baby. What's going on here? You're attacking, right? You're attacking, right? Yo, like, this turn was clear-cut, though. I'm flipping it. Giving him the old sand treatment. Hit him with a good old sand timer. A juicy timer. And he goes ahead and ends his turn right then and there. The pressure. The pressure that the sand timer puts on you. So it goes to nature. Draws bull by the horns. Fantastic card. Not in my situation, though. Not in my situation whatsoever. He's only at 12 and 17, which means if he goes for the ints, he's going to spend almost all of his food here. Now this is not a friendly attack for me. It looks like Elena is going to live to see another day. I have to defend myself. But what's so unfortunate about this is, even in defending myself, blizzards are getting tossed on me. Oh, man. Yeah, so the Ents... Like, you're not attacking these. Certainly not. Not a chance. Bao's just dead. I think your only way out is through attacking, Magma. But Bao's dead. Like, it was gonna happen, right? Whether it was gonna be this turn or next turn or the turn after. But, yeah. Rough stuff. Rough stuff indeed for young Bao, who appears to be on the retreating. He's on his back foot. Moving his general around. He's taking Glacier's forest here. I like that. Taking Glacier's forest. Oh, man. It is turn 5. It is. That's another thing is, why are we spending 5 and 5 on the stables when we're not using the 2-tile movement the turn that we did it? He didn't, right? Or maybe he did. Maybe it was one soldier moved from this lake to this lake to this forest. So he's popping his Ents. He's gonna place 2 armies down. Should be 2 armies, yeah? Yeah? Where's the other army? Oh, not Ents, just bought one. How'd he buy one? He only had 12 food. Same board from yesterday? Yes, it is. We want to emphasize that, you know, no 2 games are the same. So I always try to play the same board for at least a couple games, and you'll see it's drastically different. Drastically different. Said he had 1 soldier. Oh, okay, he had 1 soldier. He did. So he attacks Bobrick's forest here, just a thorn in his side. But I think, without defending these tiles here, he's just dead regardless, right? Glacier has too much kill pressure. So yeah, no 2 games are the same. The only repeat is Magma, but Magma's also going turn 3 here. Going 16-16. So a different perspective. But also, these almost same 4 people, it's just instead of Goofy, it was Blue Shadow earlier. They actually played against each other an hour before this game started. And it was a totally different game from that. Elena took that dub, courtesy of Poison, down here in this corner. Poison wasn't even banned. Elena didn't want it. Gotta respect that. Gotta respect wanting to try other elements. This game is painful. They're learning. Right? You at once were a young pup. But there's no way Bobrick doesn't take this now, right? I think Goofy threw his standing in the game with his turn 3 play. Goofy had, like, such a good play ready for him. You gotta secure the guarantees. That's been the lesson of the day. Bobrick didn't secure his guarantee turn 3. Could have been punished about 10 different ways. Bobrick is dead. Bobrick is dead! Yo! Goofy's about to move to this mountain, buy it, play Tectonics in, and kill Glacier. Bobrick! Oh my, you know how we were just talking a second ago about how rough it would be to look back at the footage and just see how the win was right there in front of you? Bobrick. So Earth is going to move his general, buy this star tile, play Tectonics to swap these 2 tiles positions, and attack Bobrick's naked capital. I'm sure Goofy is sitting completely silently. That's what you gotta do. But Earth can absolutely do this, which means Earth is going to absolutely take this game now, I think. Because I don't see how nature touches him. Yikes, couldn't be me. Absolutely not. He messaged me about it, got it. But I mean at the table. He's not like giggling or anything like that. He's not giving away his play. Magma's drawing a great card here. In fact, I think this is a card I almost want to remove. It's too powerful. But wow, what a comeback card it is. Getting rid of heat convection. Maybe she sees that Blizzard is dead. Not going to need to melt any snow. Oh my, I just love that she drew this card too, because if she survives Nature's Onslaught, which it looks like she will, I don't think Bao can piece together an invasion here. She could go tier 3 and still stay in this game. It's just, I think Earth is going to be able to win just significantly faster. I think he's only going to need 2... Oh my god. Holy crap. Like, this is just crazy, right? 47 BM? He can trade himself all the food he needs. He can put buildings on everything. Self-trade 8 food, so he would go to 39. He could build 9 defensive fortifications. I mean, that's not what he needs to do. He doesn't need to rush anything. Earth's got a lot of different ways to win now, though. Great cards. Great cards here. So, Excommunication allows you to draw 5 advantage cards and keep any 3. She's had some fantastic advantage cards this game. So, she got rid of her Heat Convection. She can no longer use this. It is gone. Out of the game. And she gets to pick any 3. Look at these just humdingers she's got. She's got Reduce Reuse. Fantastic. She's got Dibs and Interstellar. Fantastic cards. Once she owns the stables, imagine snagging that stable near you. Or if you have the Seer, snagging that Seer towards you. Fantastic. Seer is dangerous, though. Because they're always going to have enemy units on it. Woo! This is a spicy game here. I can't believe Bodrick is dead. The comeback game, the redemption game. Bodrick is toast. I think those are the 3 obvious choices. I could be wrong. She didn't go for Interstellar. She did take Dibs, though. Like, and it's hard to see the use for Dibs right now. Because she's obviously in the back corner. Oh, there we go. Got it. Whoa! One fell through the earth. And appeared on top of the table. Can't she swap the stables and take it? Yes, if she owned it. She has to own it. So she has to maneuver around these nature units to get it. Magma with stables? That sounds terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Trying to see how the Kraken can be used effectively. I mean, it can eliminate the Citadel, which is really good. But nothing else right now. People have not been on the coast this game. It has been a middle-of-the-board type map. She could also eliminate Bobrix here, but Bobrix units are dead anyway. He just don't know it yet. He just don't know it. So Magma still at 8 and 15. They're 2 food shy of going tier 3, courtesy of this Elemental Devotion card. But Reduce Reuse, we're definitely going to pop that this turn and get our Volcano back, right? Like we have to. Turn this desert into a volcano? Gotta do that. Gotta do it. You got it. You got it. Obvious play here, I think. And then just double fortify the field. Probably call it a day. Yep. Good stuff here. Like, she is not out of this game. Absolutely not. Because it's a matter of how long does it take Earth to win after Glacier is dead. God, Earth is so powerful. I love that Goofy basically, like, didn't do anything last turn either. He basically just ended his turn. I thought there was stuff left to do, and there's just no need. No need. He could go tier 3 this turn, courtesy of his Vantage card. No need to do that, though. Probably just stockpile the BM, and then you can cheeky get 50-50 through self-trading. That's probably what the optimal use of that is. He doesn't have to spend hardly anything in order to secure this win on Bobrick here. He's spending 5 food, 5 BM. He's going to put a barracks on it, so that's a total of 5 and 8. And then he'll spend BM to get an army, which is an additional 10 BM. So 5 and 18 is the cost to kill Bobrick here. And then he just rides off into the sunset with victory. Play is long. We got the volcano back. Turn's been going for a bit. She's making moves now, though. Resources are going down. I'd imagine you double fortify your field. Call it a day. Call it a juicy day. Finally got that resource building on that volcano. Been waiting a couple turns on that. Elena's had the cards. The deck has been stacked against her. That is for sure. Respect to her for staying in it. Not throwing away the win. Some people might be a little salty and just try to give away the win for free. Bobrick. But hey. And it's finally Goofy's turn. The play is clear. The only thing that could go against him are advantage cards, but I don't think there's anything. This actually could come into play. Could come into play here. So Bobrick's got an advantage card here. I don't like using this. I do not like using this. So he's buying the star tile. Gonna pop plate tectonics on it. Absolutely, absolutely. So this forces 2 soldiers back. This forces 2 soldiers back. So it still makes it to where Goofy just has to roll not a 1. Make sure you fortify. Make sure you fortify. He could absolutely guarantee this if he would self-trade into tier 3 and pop spare rooms on his general. He would absolutely guarantee this. But is it necessary? Utilizes Eating Rocks to get that first army. Oh, he's used it both times. So did he use Eating Rock? Okay, never mind. He's only used it once. Make sure you fortify. Because if this does go poorly, not too good there. But even with 2 soldiers running away, all he has to do is not roll a 1. It's a 5 out of 6 chance. Fortify, fortify, fortify. He's considering whether or not to go to tier 3, I would imagine. Do I need more troops, is he's asking. What advantage card could it possibly be that eliminates an army totally? There's nothing. There's no advantage card in the game that eliminates an army in battle. Be very powerful, as you can imagine. Very powerful. There's stuff that eliminates armies outside of battle, but none that you have to worry about when you are attacking. So he's considering, do I force him to draw new cards? Wait a minute. So he's going to go ahead and use Eating Rocks to buy a second army. I like this. Go ahead and maximize the usage of your Eating Rocks. Certainly the best play here. But you got to fortify this tile and this tile whenever you move on to it. So Bobrick is going to go ahead and pop his General Disobedience. So it's only 3 soldiers in this battle. But 2 get to stay home and defend. He didn't fortify the mountain. All he has to do... roll anything other than a 1. It's a 4! Bobrick is toast! And what's crazy is Bobrick had the kill on nature the turn prior. And Bobrick has killed 2 nights in a row. Rough, rough, rough going, my boy. And these polar bears are going hungry. And they're getting kicked off the island. Rough stuff for the Glacier player. Bobrick could have been the redemption game. And you really had the promise there. The setup was there. Setup was there. He didn't want it. Goofy should be able to steam away for a win here. I'm not seeing how Nature or Magma pose a threat within 2 turns. Because that's all Earth needs. He's got this self-trading card. He's making tons of BM. He can go 10 armies if he just builds buildings everywhere. Which is probably what the logical play is. Probably. Probably just build buildings everywhere. I don't even know. I mean, like, I don't see how they win. Pretty sure he just runs away with it at this point. Look at this very different story. Look at all these abilities used. Look at Glacier. 2. 2. One's a passive, I guess. Don't have to worry about it. And, I mean, this is a passive, too. But, like, you gotta use your abilities. Why was there only 1 Blizzard on the board turn 5? Rough for Bobrick. Celestial Alignment plans cannot activate elemental abilities this turn. That's pretty brutal. on Nature, who is completely ability-based, and Magma, who's fairly ability-based as well. Doesn't stop passives, it just eliminates the activation of abilities. Your passives are always in place, though. Nature's got a humdinger of a card right here with Bull by the Horns, but can they use it? I don't think so. You spawn another army here, you could Bull by the Horns over here to late on, but really, what is it doing? Puts me in the lovely grasp of Earth, who can pop spare rooms at any given moment and just absolutely slaughter me with like 6 armies. How many buildings is he at right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's 3 armies right there just off those, and he can build a whole lot more. He's netting like 30 BM a turn. Yeah, 46. He's good. He's good. He's going to end his turn, and he can self-trade for the food in the turn 2. So Earth's 2 turns, and I don't see Magma or them stopping him. Mathematically, this is an Earth win here, unless Nature can somehow steal 2 bosses and 3 star tiles, which Earth putting this one under grasp and has a soldier here is not going to allow that to happen. It's turn 6. Mathematically, I believe it's a turn 7 victory for Earth. Earth is secret OP, people. Secret OP. First time it's been played in a competitive match, but it has won the last 4 games it's been played in our matches outside of the competitive season. I've won 2 of them, which maybe is not like what it should be, but Earth's very good. It's no secret. Everyone knows Earth is broken. But then why aren't people playing it? Why isn't it banned every game? Why isn't it picked every game? Why is Nature banned every game? I mean, what has Nature done this game? Look at what Bao is doing here. He's swinging like a Tarzan maniac with his stables, running through the Seer and attacking this Rainforest. I like what Bao is doing, but this is all for naught. Boring? It's not boring. Play Tectonics and Spare Rooms? Those are such fun abilities. I will say they are fairly linear. They're not, like, diverse in what they do. Like, they have, like, one play. They have one pathway to victory. You have one play. That's not true, though. Like, you saw what Earth could have done turn 2 with the Seer. Right? That'd be fun. To have the Seer the rest of the game. That's what I would have done. Because that's also a guarantee. There's no guarantee that I can Tectonic Plates for a kill at turn 5. And especially if it's like, you know, some of the people who have like dozens of games under their belt, or a dozen games under their belt, they're not going to leave the pathway to their capital open. They never will. And Bobrick's out of here, disconnected from the game. He can't actually buy this. He has to fight it. And he'll win the fight, sure. But he can't purchase Rainforest till the next turn. And even this. If he gets 3 Star Tiles, then what? You gotta have 2 win conditions, Bao. But I will respect it. If Bao gets a win condition in his first competitive game, squaring off against the likes of Goofy and Elena, like, that's pretty solid. That's a great opener. Especially the pressure that you put on Magma. 2 armies against Magma here, forcing 3 soldiers back, splitting up the army. It shouldn't be a guarantee, actually. If Bao rolls a 1, it's not good. Gotta let him know. Gotta let him go. He's attacking here, right? I messed up by just not killing Bao. Agreed, man. Take the kills when you can. Had to kill Bao. Live and you learn, Bobrick. Live and you learn. Live and you learn. 6 Magma gets what they need. That's actually a 7 courtesy of their Volcano. So that's a 25. That is a 39 defense here. Mid-tier Glacier player. He had the setup there. He had the setup. Just didn't execute when the kill was there on Bao. There was a kill play and he didn't do it. Oh, that was attacker's roll. Oh, that was Bao? Oh, God. Yeah, that's a win there. I wanted to keep him alive because he was pressuring Magma. Was going to do it next turn. Oh, so you saw the kill and didn't go for the kill. That's interesting. That's interesting. I'm not going to say that's a bad play. I don't think that's a bad play. It's a bad play in conjunction with not buying the tiles next to your base. Always buy the 3 tiles next to your base. Always. Always, always, always. Lots of reasons for that. Case in point, play Tectonics. So Bao is potentially going to kill Magma next turn. Earth freaking cross the whole map. P-Stocks gave him... P-Stocks saved his game, I think. Earth did essentially move 2 tiles, but the only reason why it was a kill on you was because you didn't own the tile next to you. Or you didn't own the star tile. Even if you just have a unit there, he can't do what he did. Because then he has to attack you to do it. So, Nature, Bao could get a win here. Which I would really like that for him. If Bao gets a win condition in his first competitive game, I kind of hope he does it. But also, Elena, after dominating her game earlier, feeling bad that she kind of got 2v1'd. She's going tier 3, though. Oh, never mind. Bao's force is gone. Never mind. Never mind. She's got devotion. She's going tier 3. This widespread eruption is going to eliminate the soldiers and the structures on that hot spring tile, which is going to allow her to take that confidently. Absolutely, absolutely. Ashen Sky is going to make anyone toss anything surplus of 2 advantage cards, which are both at 2 advantage cards here. But when they draw another one, they're going to have to discard 1 after doing so. Benefit of that card. We used Recycle last turn. She shouldn't still have it in her hand. She's also got Escalated Aggression. Like, she's had some fantastic advantage cards this game. Ooh, true. Can't use abilities because of a Celestial Alignment. God, there's so many, like, even me, and it's because I'm, you know, juggling, talking to you guys, and looking at everything on the board. There's just so many variables in the game. It is hard to cast everything. Absolutely. But she used Recycle last turn. Oh, she can't use Widespread Eruption to eliminate Bao's forces! Yo! Maybe Bao is going to secure a win condition here. Interesting. Move him to the general. Just fortifying, turtling up. Absolutely. And then just go for the lake when you can. Just attack the lake. Just chip away at him. Training some soldiers. Getting an army there. It's looking like Elena will probably die in this next turn. This weather is actually crazy for Bao. I didn't even realize the implications of that. Bao's going to get a 3rd army here and is easily going to attack this. Shift it over, shift it over. Absolutely. Ooh. What is Bao netting? He's netting 28 and 12. He can go tier 3 next turn. So what he could do is he could go tier 3, pop Overgrown, turn all of these into forests, and then he could archer in the trees if he was able to maneuver his soldiers around and potentially shoot whatever army Elena is positioned there. That's difficult to do. I don't think that's the play. I think he's just going to get brute force and attack. Because he can get 2 armies here next turn. Actually, can he? He goes to 33. Not quite. Close, though. Not quite. Well, if he goes tier 3, he can pop Overgrown, and then he can pop Ents here, and then attack with 4 armies instead of 3. Which would almost guarantee his victory. Just has to not roll a 1. Magma is managing to put up a good defense here, though. 2 armies. Solid. But really, everyone's just playing for second place at this point. Bao's trying to cash in a win condition. Goofy is going to walk away with this win here overall. So we should have 2 armies on our capital. Very good. That's a strong defense. I don't, unless Nature cashes in on a great advantage card that kills armies, I don't think Nature can actually take it confidently. You know, there's always a chance that, you know, she rolls a 1 and he rolls a 6. But, which, and if you're considering, like, whether I walk away with a win condition or not, like, you do it, right? Absolutely. But unfortunate that we're all playing for second at this point. Because Goofy, mathematically, can he do it this turn, actually? Let's see. If he ends his turn now, he goes to 85 BM. Oh, yeah. He can just self-trade. He wins this turn. Never mind. Bao won't even get a chance to go again. Goofy is going to self-trade for a 50 and 50 victory. What an advantage card. Great card there. Fantastic card. And it goes to Goofy. Let's see if he plans on anything disrespectful. But he can just exchange to give him enough to where he's going to be above 50 and 50. He only needs to exchange 11 BM for food. Do it, baby. Do it. Yep. Popping it. Popping it, popping it, popping it. Oh, that was unnecessary. Oh, but I guess it's fine. It's overkill. But he does it. Appreciate that follow. Welcome aboard the SS Man. Can't touch this. Glad to have you playing in the elemental domain now, finally. Glad to have you here aboard the SS Manhood. And this is going to be a 50 and 50 win for Earth here, assuming that he just ends his turn. We're ending our turn, right? Goes to 50 food. He's going to go to 58 BM. Just ending his turn. And he ends his turn. That is GG. GG's, baby. It's a Goofy win. It is a Goofy win. Earth via killing Bobrick and a 50-50 economic win in the following turn. Very solid stuff. Great showing from all the new players here. Bobrick had the comeback game there, even had the kill, but opted not to go for it. Lesson learned here, right? Lesson learned. You take the kills where you can. You take the win conditions where you can. You absolutely have to. The game moves too quick nowadays. And it's not even the aggro nations that are winning every time. Case in point today. Earth is a turtling nation, yet took the aggression to Glacier. Takes the dub. Elena having a great showing, putting on a 2v1 in her first competitive match. Has to square off against one of the top players to see this game. Squares off very well. In this game, a 2v1. Getting attacked from both sides and won by one of the most aggressive nations in nature. Bao with really not even an optimal nature corner whatsoever. The first competitive game we've seen where nature wasn't banned. And yet, it gets played this game, and there wasn't too much to worry about. Like, I wouldn't do too many things differently from what Bao did, but, like, I don't see how Nature ever had a position to win the game, especially when Glacier could have killed them. But, I mean, even if, you know, one of us is playing, more experienced players playing, I don't know how Nature plays it differently to totally, just not die, or at least, like, be in contention to win. I don't know how they do it. I'm not sure. Anyways, thanks for joining us here Many more games to come. Enjoying the hype. The elements demand that we pay respect. The elements demand it. People are learning. People are joining. Tell your friends. Tell your mom. Tell your mom about the game, baby. Tell your mom. She wants to know about it. She wants to put us on the big screen. She does. She wants to kick her feet up in the living room, sip on a frosty beverage, and watch Empires of Aether, the next great turn-based strategy board game. A game that allows you to wield an element of your choosing, vying for control of a new power, a new element. Aether. I love you, and we'll see you tomorrow.